Hi, I'm Greg with Fizzics Group, here with Doug, head brewer at Demented Brewing Company in Middlesex, New Jersey. Thanks for having us here, Doug. Cheers.
Thank you for having us as well.
So what are we drinking here?
We're drinking Scarlet Night. It's one of our flagship beers. It's a nice red ale, moderately hoppy, not overly, but more malt forward. Comes in right around with a lower ABV, so not going to punish you with the alcohol.
Very nice. So tell us how you got into brewing.
I got into brewing when I got into drinking, more or less. That's in the great state of Vermont. And basically, I went around, traveled, went to a bunch of awesome different breweries, started home brewing when I was up in there. And then when I graduated, I realized a lot of teachers weren't retiring from teaching. So I joined up with a local brewery that had just started down Atlantic Highlands, Carton Brewing, and worked there for about 4 years and got my schooling, professional Brewers Guild, and all that. So.
Awesome. That's pretty cool. So tell us how you ended up at Demented and how Demented got started. And
Yeah, so basically when I left Carton, someone referenced me, actually, a good friend of mine here, to Tom, the owner. And I met with Tom and his wife. I met a few times, and I really felt what they were doing here going forward, expansion wise, the room we have in here, going forward, this would be a really good opportunity for me. And basically that's really how I got here. So
how would you describe Demented Brewing's approach to craft beer?
So Demented's approach, it's kind of like the consumer approach. So it's always changing, it's always evolving. We're always trying out new flavors, new hops, experimental hops. So anything like that's on the forefront, we obviously have a big barrel program here, for us at least, a big barrel program. But so we're always trying to do new things, new creative ideas. We got a little small pilot batch system. So anytime, we come out with a crazy idea, like, Tom wanted to make a Thai chili sour beer. We brew it on the small scale, and then we could scale it up to the bigger scale.
Awesome. So can you tell us about any projects you have working on right now?
So currently brewing, we have a Citra Mosaic Kiwi IPA, which was a huge hit. Yeah. So that beer, we brewed it twice on the pilot system, sold out within like a week. So finally, we brewed on the big scale, so we're really looking forward to that. We got some new sour coming out in August, and that's part of our barrel program, our Barrel Legion. And that's a Flemish Red and Cabernet barrels. So it's, very, all primary fermented right into the barrel, using like a mixed fermentation of yeast and bacteria to create that acidity and layers of complex flavors as well. So
I'll have to come back and try that one when it's ready.
For sure.
So do you remember the first time you ever had a beer on draft? What kind of beer it was, first setting, beer, who you were with, anything like that?
Legally or not?
Whatever you want to say on camera.
I think the first beer I had on draft was when my father gave it to me. He's not a really big drinker, but I was probably about 12. He always was one of those guys that goes, I want you to try it, see if you like it, and obviously I was a little kid, so I didn't really like it then. So I think it was a Miller, to be honest with you. But the first real draft that I had when I was of age was a Switchback in Vermont. So that was a really good one. So
awesome. Well, tell us what, if anything, you noticed different between pouring a beer from a bottle or a can versus dispensing it through the Fizzics draft beer system.
So the Fizzics is very interesting. Ever since you guys first started linking up with this, it's really pretty spot on with how mouthfeel should taste. I noticed maybe a slight little more creamierness in the beer, but other than that, you get a very good head. Obviously, the lacing on the beer stays, and then obviously it still brings out those flavors through the carbonation, through the breakout. So you still get that hoppiness, the maltness, through your nose, and in the mouthfeel as well. So you still get that really nice, rich mouthfeel.
Cool. One last question for you.
Yeah.
If you could have a beer with anybody, living or dead, who would it be?
Living or dead? It'd probably be Alexander the Great.
All right.
Yeah.
Respect that.
Yeah, he's one that I've admired. I'm a big history buff guy, so if there was probably anyone, it would be Alexander the Great. Yeah.
Great. Well, thanks a lot, man. Thanks for having us.
Hey, cheers. Thank you, and thank you,
Cheers.
Fizzics.